Welcome back to the deep dive. We try to cut through the noise, give you those smart shortcuts. Today, we're diving into something pretty essential if you're using the cloud, specifically AWS EC2 pricing models, our mission. Let's unpack these so you can actually make smarter, more cost-efficient choices.
Yeah, and it's crucial because getting these models right isn't just about saving a few bucks, it's really about control. You gain immense control over flexibility, how you scale,
Yep.
predictability for your budgets. It's fundamental. What's fascinating here is think of EC2 pricing models like different payment plans for renting a car. That's a great analogy we found.
Oh, I like that. The car analogy, it clicks. Because, yeah, you wouldn't just pay by the hour for a car you need all year, would you? And it's the same idea for cloud compute. So let's really dig into these different plans.
Exactly. If we step back for a second, the whole point of these models is to let you match your spending to your actual needs. Like, precisely. They help you optimize costs, obviously avoid overpaying, but also give you flexibility for, short bursts or long-term stable things. Plus, predictability for budgeting with things like RIs, reserved instances, and savings plans. And Spot makes big compute power accessible even on a tighter budget.
Right, knowing when to use which one. It sounds like the real power isn't just picking one model, but maybe blending them.
That's absolutely the key takeaway.
Yeah.
The real power is blending them. Like, imagine a company, right? They might use on-demand for some quick testing. Then they'd have reserved instances for that core database that just has to run 24/7, and maybe spot instances for some heavy data analysis overnight,
Hmm.
where it's okay if it gets interrupted and restarts. It's a portfolio approach.
Okay, a portfolio. Let's break down the pieces then, starting with on-demand instances. This sounds like the default, maybe.
It often is. It's your pay by the hour or even pay by the second option. No long-term commitment at all. Think of it like hailing a cab or renting a car just for an hour or two. Pure flexibility. Get it when you need it, stop paying when you don't.
Maximum flexibility. So perfect for development, testing, things where you just don't know how long you'll need it.
Exactly. Unpredictable workloads, short-term projects, spin it up, tear it down. But here's the thing, it offers that peak flexibility, but is also your most expensive option per hour. So you use it when you need that instant flexibility, but you should always be thinking, can I move this workload to a cheaper model if it becomes consistent?
Okay, so on-demand is flexible but pricey. What if you do know you need that compute power for a longer period? That's where commitment comes in, like with reserved instances.
Precisely. Reserved instances, or IIs. Here, you commit. You say, okay, I need this type of instance in this region for 1 year or maybe 3 years. And in return for that commitment, AWS gives you a significant discount. We're talking up to 75% off the on-demand price. It's just like signing a 1-year lease for a car instead of renting it daily. You commit, you save.
75%, wow. And you mentioned standard or convertible IRIs. What's the difference there?
Right. Standardized offer the biggest discount, but they're tied to a specific instance family, type, and OS. Less flexible. Convertible Is offer a slightly lower discount, but you get flexibility. You can change the instance family, OS, tenancy later if your needs change. Still requires that 1 or 3 year commitment, though.
Okay, that convertibility sounds useful. So IRIs are best for the steady state stuff, your production web servers, databases.
Exactly. Anything with predictable, consistent usage. Like that company reserving a C5.large instance for its main database for a year. Boom, maybe 40% savings right there. That commitment really pays off.
Got it. Now, for the real bargain hunters. Spot instances. This sounds intriguing. Up to 90% off.
Yeah, Spot is pretty amazing for cost savings. You're basically bidding on, or really just using, AWS's spare, unused EC2 capacity. Because AWS has this massive infrastructure, there's often idle capacity. They offer up at huge discounts. The analogy was like buying cheap concert tickets from a scalper. Great price, but
But you might get bumped. That's the catch, right?
it's
AWS can reclaim that capacity.
exactly. They can interrupt your Spot instance with just a 2-minute warning if they need that capacity back, usually for on-demand customers. So it's fantastic for anything fault-tolerant. Think batch processing, big data jobs, maybe rendering, some types of scientific computing or CI/CD pipelines, workloads that can handle being stopped and then resuming later, potentially on a different instance.
2 minutes notice. Okay, definitely need resilient applications for that. It's a trade-off. Huge savings for potential interruption. All right, that covers Spot. What about the last major one? Savings plans. How do they fit in?
Savings plans are a bit newer and offer more flexibility than standard RIs, actually. Instead of committing to a specific instance type, you commit to a consistent amount of compute usage, measured in dollars per hour, say $10 per hour. You make that commitment for a 1 or 3 year term, and you get RI-like discounts. up to maybe 72% off on demand.
Okay, committing to a dollar amount per hour, not a specific instance, how is that different from, say, a convertible RI?
The big advantage is flexibility across different things. Saving plans automatically apply to your usage across different incentive families, sizes, even different AWS regions. And crucially, they can cover not just EC2, but also serverless compute like AWS Fargate or AWS Lambda. That's huge. It's like having a discount membership for that car rental company you commit spending a certain amount. You get cheaper rates on almost any car anywhere.
Ah, so if you use a mix of instance types, or maybe you use EC2 and Lambda, a savings plan could cover all of that automatically with one commitment.
Precisely. It simplifies things. A company might commit to 10-hour for 3 years and get, say, 50% savings across all their various EC2 instances and their Lambda functions without constantly managing individual RIs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So it really comes back to that idea of blending them all together.
Absolutely. That's the strategic part. You don't just pick one, you look at your different workloads.
Yeah.
The real power is in that mix. Maybe some on-demand for spikes, RIs or savings plans for the steady baseline, and spot for the interruptible batch jobs.
Right, like that e-commerce example. On demand for quick tests, RIs for the core web servers, Spot for nightly analytics, and maybe a savings plan over the top to catch all the variable stuff across EC2 and Lambda, building that optimal portfolio.
You got it. It's about mapping the right tool or the right pricing model to the right job.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Understanding these EC2 pricing models, and importantly, how to combine them, really gives you the power to balance cost, flexibility, and reliability effectively in your cloud setup. It turns cloud spend from just a cost center into something you can strategically manage.
Yeah, and that really brings up a bigger question, doesn't it? In this cloud world that's changing so fast,
Yeah.
how could strategically combining these models unlock completely new ways to innovate, things you couldn't afford before, all within your budget?
That's a great question. Definitely something to chew on as you continue your own deep dive.